Show. I am your host, Christene Marie. I am streaming in from Sedona, Arizona, and it is just the most beautiful morning. Yesterday, we were walking through just so many gardens and all these roses, and they smelled so beautiful. And I just am so grateful for this time to once again sit and just kind of still my mind, body, soul, spirit, and listen along with you for the truth that is for us to learn and be reminded of this morning. I think that's something so interesting about truth, is that so often it's simply remembering it. It's not necessarily even learning something new perhaps, but it's like a remembrance of that which we've always known, or something that we just kind of innately feel is true and know is true. And so often it's not necessarily some big realization, it's more so a recollection. So I'm excited to remember the truth with you all this morning, but also where it's fitting and where we do learn something new. So for those of you who are new to the Knowing Show, we really honor the chat. It is something that I really am mindful of and pay attention to. So please just remember that your words carry weight for those who else are in the chat, but then also for me as I read it. And we just really want to be life-giving to each other. So I am going to start with reading some of the backstory, some of the lessons, which honestly do kind of add some backstory for today's lesson. Wayne, it's so good to see you, my friend. I am going to go ahead and read some of the preamble. All right, lesson 95. I am one self, united with my creator. Lesson 96. Salvation comes from my one self. Lesson 97. I am spirit. Lesson 98. I will accept my part in God's plan for salvation. Lesson 99. Salvation is my only function here. Lesson 100. My part is essential to God's plan for salvation. Lesson 101. God's will for me is perfect happiness. Lesson 102. I share God's will for happiness for me. Lesson 103. God being love is also happiness. Lesson 104. I seek but what belongs to me in truth. Lesson 105. God's peace and joy are mine. Lesson 106. Let me be still and listen to the truth. Lesson 107. Truth will correct all errors in my mind. Lesson 108. To give and to receive are one in truth. Lesson 109. I rest in God. Lesson 110. I am as God created me. And then we'll skip through the review lessons and jump back into lesson 121. Forgiveness is the key to happiness. Lesson 122. Forgiveness offers everything I want. And today's lesson, lesson 123. I thank my Father for his gifts to me. Today, let us be thankful. We have come to gentler pathways and to smoother roads. There is no thought of turning back and no implacable resistance to the truth. A bit of wavering remains, but small objections and a little hesitance. But you can well be grateful for your gains, which are far greater than you realize. A day devoted now to gratitude will add the benefit of some insight into the real extent of all the gains which you have made, the gifts you have received. Be glad today in loving thankfulness. Your Father has not left you to yourself, nor let you wander in the dark alone. Be grateful he has saved you from the self you thought you made to take the place of him in his creation. Give him thanks today. Give thanks that he has not abandoned you, and that that his love forever will remain shining on you, forever without change. Give thanks as well that you are changeless, for the Son he loves is changeless as himself. Be grateful you are saved. Be glad you have a function in salvation to fill. Be thankful that your value far transcends your meager gifts and petty judgments of the one whom God established as his Son. Today, in gratitude, we lift our hearts above despair and raise our thankful eyes, no longer looking downward to the dust. We sing the song of thankfulness today in honor of the self that God has willed to be our true identity in him. Today we smile on everyone we see and walk with lightened footsteps as we go to do what He has appointed us to do. We do not go alone, and we give thanks that in our solitude a friend has come to speak the saving word of God to us. And thanks to you for listening to Him. His word is soundless if it not be heard. In thanking Him, the thanks are yours as well. An unheard message will not save the world, however mighty be the voice that speaks, however loving may be the message. Thanks be to you who heard, for you become the messenger who brings His voice with you and lets its echo round the world. Receive the thanks of God today as you give thanks to Him, for He would offer you the thanks you give, since He receives your gifts in loving gratitude and gives them back 1,000 and 100,000 more than they were given. He will bless your gifts by sharing them with you, so they grow in power and in strength until they fill the world with gladness and with gratitude. Receive His thanks and offer yours to Him for 15 minutes twice today, and you will realize to whom you offer thanks and whom He thanks as you are thanking Him. This holy half an hour given Him will be returned to you in terms of years for every second, power to save the world eons more quickly for your thanks to Him. Receive His thanks, and He will understand how lovingly you will understand how lovingly He holds you in His mind, how deep and limitless His care for you, how perfect is His gratitude to you. Remember hourly to think of Him and give Him thanks for everything He gave His Son, that He might rise among the world, above the world, remembering His Father and His self. Wow, y'all. There's a book that I was told to read. It's called The Gap in the Gain by Dan Sullivan. And y'all, that book was exactly what I needed and still continues to be something that I need, because it focuses on the principle and is basically surrounding the principle of you can either sit at where you are today and look ahead and realize how far is the gap between where you are today and the future gain of your own ideal or that what you're trying to achieve, or you can sit at where you are today and look back at how far you've come. And it's hard to really be in a place of gratitude when we are existing in the gap. But man, when we're existing in the gain, there is so much to be grateful for. It's almost like you can't help but just overflow with gratitude when we are looking back. And here's the thing that's so interesting. We talk about, wow, the past by way of it can color our lens, where it's kind of like we're existing from back there, and the pain of the past is coloring our lens. And even unforgiveness, the thought of unforgiveness as being something that tethers us to the past, like we can't fully move forward. We're chained for so far back as that person is that we have not forgiven, or even that circumstance or situation. But man, this is what's so cool, is that when we're free from the past, we can exist here in the present and now look back and see how far we've come and see the gains from the past, rather than being tethered to it and being controlled by it. And so the freedom of forgiveness that it brings, it allows us now to exist in the gratitude of the present moment, and thus look forward with hope, rather than the anger of the past. Because here's the thing: if we have unresolved wounds and unforgiveness of the past, thus we project that onto the future. Anything that colors our view is what we're going to project on other people and what we're going to project onto the future. So that's why so many of us can't actually look forward with hope, because we've got so much pain that's preventing us from being able to be free in the present in the first place. How can we ever be free in the future? And so this aspect around gratitude, I actually think it really warrants us to take a pause this morning and just consider, can I even be grateful? Am I even free to be thankful and notice all of the wonderful, wonderful things? Guys, we've come so far, regardless of how painful it was back then. You're different today than you were then. You've come far. Even just thinking back to when you were literally a child, or 10 years ago, or 5 years, there's been change and there's been progress, and there's so many reasons to be grateful. Even here right now, sitting outside, it's like sunshine. We all have sunshine. Maybe it's a cloudy day, but the sunshine's there. Breath, having air to breathe, that we're alive. So many people are not alive today. And yet we are. We have the privilege to exist in this world today. And so how are we going to make the most of it? And perhaps the very first thing we can do to make the most of today is to express gratitude and thankfulness for our Father, for his gifts to us. I'm just going to read this opening line. A bit of wavering remains, some small objections and a little hesitancy, but you can well be grateful for your gains, which are far greater than you realize. A day devoted now to gratitude will add the benefit of some insight into the real extent of all the gains which you have made, the gifts you have received. So I would actually love if this morning that we just take time here in the chat to share what we're grateful for. I am going to just jump into the chat now. Music, good morning. Chinwal, good morning. Lindy, Voyal, good morning. Ray, Mozart, good morning. Monroe, Benjamin, thanks for joining, y'all. Rodrigo, good morning. Adam, John, good to see your name. Thanks for joining. Amit, good morning. Greetings from Mexico. Oh, I'm so glad you're here. NBN, good morning. Thank you guys so much for joining. Y'all, let's go ahead. Oh, Warrior, good morning. I don't want to have this. Good morning. I would love to hear, y'all, what are we grateful for? There's so much. There's so much to be grateful for. There's so much gain. And so I feel really grateful this morning, for the degree, of even just learning from the last few years of how much I love the fact. I'm so grateful for the fact that there's endless potential that for each one of us. We're never going to reach the cap on the impact we can make in the world or the legacy we can leave behind. I'm so grateful for that. I'm so grateful that we can always be better. Just looking here in the chat, the Gray Tone, good morning. I'm grateful for my house and land and equipment. Oh my gosh, that is huge. That is huge. Land is such a blessing. Oh my gosh, I love that. Wayne, I'm grateful for you. I'm so grateful for you. NBN, good morning. This is live. Saint, or Sanic, good morning. Good morning from North London, England. I'm so glad you're here. Grateful to be alive. Oh man, me too. Y'all, really. My uncle passed away 3 weeks ago, and my other uncle is very close to doing that. Y'all, it is so true. I'm so grateful to be alive. And I'm so grateful for today. I'm so grateful for a fresh start, that like every day we get to make it be a fresh start. Let's keep going. What else are you guys grateful for? I mean, there's so much. I'm so grateful. I'm so grateful for roses. I wish I need to figure out how to turn off my background. It's blurry right now, but like there's a little, I hear the water running over there. I see the roses. I'm grateful for being alive. I'm grateful that God has not abandoned me. Same. The honey badger, good morning. I love your handle. I'm grateful for my parents. I'm so grateful for my parents. They were married as of last week, 40 years. Ray, Mozart. I'm so grateful that you're here. What else? What else am I grateful for? I'm grateful for this weekend. I'm grateful that I got to spend some time with friends that I didn't really know, and just that we had some really meaningful conversations. I'm grateful for people who will open up and share, from more of those vulnerable places, that they're not just, presenting in pretense. I'm grateful for Yahweh and his first son born, Jesus, nothing else. It's interesting. I am so grateful for that too. And I'm so grateful for this world he made. I'm so grateful for this beautiful, beautiful world. There's so much beauty in this creation. I'm so grateful for y'all, I'm so grateful for the fact that each one of us is here right now and being willing to express and remind us to look for the good, look for the gain. There's so much good to be grateful for. There's so much gain in our lives. I'm a zoo loco. Good morning. Love from Canada. I'm so glad you're here. Ahmed, good morning. X-Crix, good morning. I'm grateful for my kids. Oh, Preston, Zachary, Emily, and Mariella. God protect them. What beautiful names. I'm so grateful for my siblings. Jen, Jared, Sam, Marilyn, Susanna. I'm so grateful for their kids. Man, I'm so grateful you said that, Wayne, because it's true. All of these people in our lives, there's so many wonderful, wonderful people. I'm so grateful for my darling and his boys. So grateful for my grandparents. You know, my granddad really did a beautiful job of bringing our whole family together growing up. I'm grateful for books. I'm grateful for so many people who have just taken the time to write out what they know, what they are learning. I'm grateful for entrepreneurship. I'm so grateful for the freedom that it gives and the ability to work as hard as I want, as much as I want. I really love that. Mm. Sankil or Sanik, sorry, I think I said that wrong. Oh, okay. Well, we'll see you soon. Thanks for joining. Ray Mozart, I'm so glad. I'm glad you're here. Kapil, love and respect from India. Good morning. I'm so grateful for breakfast and food. I love food. And I'm so grateful for good food. Y'all, isn't that so? There's endless things. I'm grateful for birds. It was like 10 o'clock last night in the evening, and birds were singing. I don't know why, but wrestling fan, I'm sorry for loss. I lost my dad 4 years ago. It still hurts a lot. Wrestling fan, I cannot tell you how much I'm so sorry to hear that. I am already dreading the day when I lose my dad. And so I'm so sorry to hear that. And I don't think that pain ever should go away. You know, I think that there's a difference between being stuck and immobilized as a result of grief. But otherwise, I think grief is a way to honor the love that was there. You know, it's like a resounding symbol of the meaning and life that person lived and the love that they gave you. I think that's honorable in so many ways. Yoda, good morning. Brad, good morning. Oh, NBM, thank you. I love that. You know, it's interesting, y'all. It's my brother-in-law, Nathan, was killed by a drunk driver. And I really, really, really miss him. And when I think about it a lot, it makes me really mad. And I'm so grateful for his life. I'm so grateful for the fact that we got Alyssa Rose from him 3 weeks before he was killed. He and my sister had their darling, sweet baby girl. And I'm so grateful for that. I'm so grateful he got to see her and meet her and hold her. I'm so grateful my sister has those photos. I'm so grateful for his life. And so in every single situation, we can look at the gap or the gain. We can look at the fact and be so devastated that he's not here. And I think it's two sides to the same coin, perhaps. You know, we're not ignoring the bad when we talk about the good, and we're not ignoring the good when we talk about the bad. And I think that is just, we talked about duality yesterday of like, there's many ways to do the work. And so much is having the discernment and awareness to know what type of work to do. And I think for so much of, even when it comes to opportunities where there's both grief and joy around a person or even loss, it's the same side to the same coin. It's or two sides to the same coin, where it's like, how will I choose to be today? How will I choose to be in this moment? Is it a time for grief? Because there are times for grief and there are times for joy. And man, I think that that's just the most beautiful opportunity to consider what's here right now for me to experience. Is it a time for grief? Is it a time for joy? I love this. Yoda says, my daughter's name is Alyssa Rose. Oh my gosh. I love that. Oh my word. I just think that that's the most beautiful name. Yes, I am blessed, Wayne says. I'm definitely grateful for my grandmother who raised me along with my grandfather. Wow. Oh, what a blessing. Oh my gosh. Tarek, good morning. Thank you. Thanks for joining. Wrestling fan. God bless you, my friend. It's so hard. Wow. Amazo says loss gives you an empty space in your heart for you to love more. Y'all, that is so, so incredibly beautifully true. Wayne says, I'm grateful for the money that flows to me frequently and easily from multiple sources every day. Wayne, what a blessing. Oh my gosh. 3 things you don't mess with: my money, my woman, and my food. That's so funny. Oh my gosh. Hotspot Casino, good morning. Cherubim, good morning. Hadifa, good morning. Y'all, I'm so grateful for this stream, for this conversation today around how many gifts there are. You know, today's lesson, I thank my Father for his gifts to me. There are so many gifts, so much in terms of blessing, and NBN says all losses is a win for me. Hell is just grave at the finish line. I request for no eternal life. Oh my, well, there you go. We all have a different approach to eternal life, don't we? And I just am so grateful, honestly, for this moment to join with you all in remembering all that is good, effectively, because it's so easy to turn on the news or read the news and just get so discouraged. You know, there can be so much horrible news out there, and at the same time there is so much good. And I would even argue perhaps the good outweighs the bad. Because when you really get specific, I'm glad to be alive, then you can get specific on, I'm so glad I can see, I'm so glad I can feel, I'm so glad I can hear, I'm so glad I can speak, I'm so glad I can love and touch and experience life. There is so much good. It's an endless list. And for every loss, there is likely an equal amount of joy to be experienced in it for that person that we lost. To feel the pain that we do over their life and their life lost means that there was that much more joy in experiencing them. And so to be grateful does not mean that we negate the pain, and vice versa. So I'm grateful for you all this morning. Rob Vine, good morning. Glad to see you. Deuces, good morning. Unfortunately, we don't know what we have until we lose it. Y'all, let's I'm so glad you said that. Let's be mindful of what we have today and be extra grateful for it. I had this realization 2 or 3 years ago that we just don't know how long we have with the people that we really, really love. We don't know. My brother-in-law was 26 when he was killed. My uncle was 61 when he died in his sleep 3 weeks ago. So y'all, we just don't know. We don't know. So let us live well today and cherish those that we love, and be grateful for them, and maybe even express our gratitude so that they know how we feel. We usually wait until it's too late to tell people how we really feel. So with that, I hope you all have a very, very wonderful day, and I will see you tomorrow at 9 a.m. Eastern. We'll be going back to our normal weekday times, 6 a.m. Pacific, 9 a.m. Eastern, and I will see you all